I'm honored and blessed to have an opportunity to represent the 2nd Congressional District as a delegate for the state of Mississippi as we re-elect Barack Obama as President Barack Obama as the president again. So we're really excited about that.
So what do you expect, for that matter, Michelle Obama to say tonight?
Well, I think she's going to talk about the intangibles, some of the intangibles about her husband, some of the things that they've had to endure. She has had a unique perspective because she's seen the evolution from President Obama being the candidate 4 years ago to being a well-versed, poised incumbent seeking re-election. And so I believe she's going to help rally the base of support for President Obama, and she's going to be able to articulate many of the issues that are confronting our nation. And also, I would expect her to touch upon some of the initiatives that she holds very close and dear, involving the health of our nation and her efforts to eradicate obesity, which is a core issue in the state of Mississippi.
Can we expect any changes on the Democratic platform?
You know, I think there are several wedge issues that really need some clarification. I don't believe personally the other party articulated their stance as it pertains to our health care situation. I don't think they've offered any viable options on issues of immigration. I think that, you know, it's important and discussion needs to be had about it, but I support the Obama administration's stance on that. I believe issues of Social Security and its future and Medicaid and how it's going to affect us on a state level is very important to many of the people throughout the United States. So there are 3 or 4 cornerstone issues that I think are critical, and I think that people, irregardless of whatever party you consider yourself belonging to, you need to really, really listen to what the candidates say and think critically about what they're offering. And when you look at an incumbent has a history, a track record. You know what to expect from him. And President Obama has not shied away from many of the very tough issues on a domestic level and on an international foreign level. And we see exactly where his heart is and where his focus is. Governor Romney is talking about a lot of the issues as it pertains and relates to his party and his view. But it's a big difference to talk about what you're going to do, and you have another candidate who has been doing. And so I think those are some of the things that voters need to do in terms of educating themselves and not just supporting any party carte blanche.
Now, this is a 3-day convention.
Yes.
Do you think the Democrats will be able to accomplish all that they intend to accomplish? You have Biden as well as Obama speaking on the same night, Thursday.
Yes. Well, you know, that's an awesome responsibility and task that is before the Democratic Party. And I don't have any doubt in my mind that the Democratic Party is going to do an effective job of educating its base, motivating its base as we move into election cycle. And in an election cycle, it moves very, very fast. And so I don't think the Republican Party did a really good job of energizing its base. I think they did make some forward progress, and I believe forward progress is going to be made within the Democratic Party as well. The parties have a real difficult task before them, being able to rally the troops, being able to educate them on the platform issues, and then being able to gauge the public and their perception. We saw on many of the media outlets last night that Governor Romney's acceptance speech received several all-time lows, and that's disheartening for a candidate to hear something like that, because it's so critical that people be able to walk away from your speech in an election cycle and have 2 or 3 points they can pull away. And so, you know, from a political standpoint, as a political scientist, I can be a Monday morning quarterback and talk about, you know, the Eastwood perspective and the political gaffes that occurred that night. And you know, I just would not have advised my candidate to have someone who would obviously upstage you on the night that you're going to speak, and then that person who's not on the ticket be the only person that we can truly remember what he said to the empty chair, regardless of whatever it was that he said. And so those are the kind of critical things that have to be considered from the standpoint of managing a convention and being able to manage the speakers and be able to bring the darlings of the party onto a national platform to see how well they are received, not only in their own areas and in their own respective positions, but on a national scale.
Well, you mentioned an important, interesting point when you talked about the ratings, the low ratings that Mitt Romney received on his acceptance speech. Now, former President Clinton is going to be speaking also on Wednesday night, which is, I guess, is tomorrow night. Now, he's going up against the NFL game, the opener. That's going to be interesting to see how well he does, be able to pull in that kind of listening audience.
Well, President Clinton is a one-of-the-kind person. He is polarizing. He is dynamic. He knows how to motivate an audience. He has a unique, rare skill. And so I'll put him up against the NFL any day and time, and besides, there's not any hot games going on anyway tomorrow night as far as I'm concerned. But I think President Clinton is going to do a wonderful job of rallying the base as we work up to the climax of getting everybody motivated to go back home and go to work. I did an interview earlier tonight with someone saying, look, we want to talk to red states and, are you guys giving up or just going through the motions? And I told them absolutely not. The most important thing that we should do in a state like Mississippi is to continue to educate the voter base, to talk about where each respective person is or where they see themselves, and be able to bring together the gap between perception and reality, because most of the people in Mississippi, whether they know it or not, should be supporting this party when they look at their income and their incomes on just a personal level. And then there are certain ones of us who have income levels that might not necessarily be in line with middle class, but certainly possess the socially pragmatic view of supporting the community and the deep-rooted issues as we see government and its role in our lives. But I think the most important thing we can do back in Mississippi is continue to register voters, promote education, but registration, more importantly, with young people in the high schools. And I think that Mississippi is going to turn out, and I don't necessarily know that we're going to turn blue in this cycle, but we can certainly make a positive step forward.